I'm a moco machine. I'm mocosa. I'm mocosa. Okay. You ready?
I'm ready. Good? Let's do it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Let's Dish with Lilli. I am here with my good friend Javi. We're going to be enjoying pupusas tonight, a little bit of wine, but first I'm going to introduce you to Javi.
Hello.
Javi is a fellow improviser. We met at ColdTowne, where I meet all the loves of my life. I don't even remember how and when we met. I feel like...
I don't remember. I was thinking about that earlier, too. I think it was the very first Prima Doña's show.
Javi is an amazing improviser, comedian, but he's also, you're a licensed counselor, right? You're a therapist.
That's right. I'm a clinical social worker, technically.
Clinical social worker.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
How did you get into all that? Which I think is very fitting because you're such an empath.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I went to college. My sort of dreams in college were to be a doctor. So I was like pre-med for most of college. And then it turned out that science disagreed with my dreams and goals. It was very difficult. I had a semester where I attempted my first relationship, took organic chemistry and genetics all in the same semester.
Oh my gosh, that sounds terrible.
And I almost had a nervous breakdown.
Oh my gosh, that makes me have knots in my stomach.
Yeah, it's very fun. So I quickly realized that probably being a doctor wasn't in the cards. And I also realized like you needed to be into science.
Oh yeah.
To like be a doctor. Like I just wanted to be like house MD. Like I just wanted to like be sassy with patients.
I was like for a month, I was like, I'm going to go pre-med. I was really into Grey's Anatomy at the time. Who wouldn't have
of course.
been swayed from...
Yeah, it looked glamorous.
Yeah, it looked glamorous. It looked hot.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Absolutely.
But no, science is super hard.
Yes. So anyways, I remember going to an advisor and being like, I can't be pre-med anymore. I just am going to be like straight, like my major was already psychology. In my head, I was like, I'll just downgrade and we'll become a therapist.
That's not even a downgrade.
Well, yeah, say that to my bank account. But ultimately I was like, yeah, so I want to be a therapist. And they were like, well, that means you're not graduating in like a year and a half like you thought you were. You're actually going to graduate next semester.
Oh,
and I like
shit. You're
full on panicked. Oh, no, I freaked out. I was like, no, I'm like a little baby child. Yes. Like I can't be in the real world. So I freaked out and I just applied to grad schools like kind of willy-nilly. And I applied to like, because somebody was like, you can be a social worker and do counseling. And I was like, sure, I guess that would be cool if I got in there because I wouldn't have to leave Austin. And so like I graduated college like in December and started grad school in January. Like I did not take a break. And I got admitted into the School of Social Work at UT. And I got there and I was like, so what's social work? What am I doing here? What is this? Which I'm sure for people who are applying to social work is infuriating.
You're there like, social work, that sounds cool.
Right? I was like, interesting.
This is a rosé Javi brought over. We're pairing it with these pupusas.
This is the food of my people?
Yeah, cheers. Cheers to Javi because today is his birthday.
That's true.
For 2018. He's a leap year baby.
A leap year, yep. February 29th.
Yes.
So I don't actually get a birthday this year.
You know, they're overrated sometimes.
But she's getting old. She's 8.5 today.
That's so funny.
What kind of pupusas did you get?
Okay, so...
This looks revuelta. Pork and cheese?
Yes. That's it.
Yeah. I know my pupusas.
And then another one is bean and cheese, and then one of them is loroco and queso, which is that flour.
Awesome. Yes. I will go in on that. So I love that. A pupusa is it is the national food of El Salvador. When you're in El Salvador,
cute.
Like every corner there's a little pupuseria. And it's essentially, it's a corn, it's a very doughy corn tortilla that can be stuffed with, it's usually cheese, and it's a very specific kind of cheese, and I can't remember what it is. And it's usually cheese and loroco, which is a flour, or pork.
Love that.
Yeah, or beans is what it is. And then it's grilled. And here's how, like, I remember growing up is, like, you'd be like driving on the street and there would be like these huts, and that's where you would go get your pupusas, and there would be an old woman there, and it was a huge plate over a fire, and she just had these like balls of this corn masa, and she would just do this a lot. This is all I remember of like, if you asked me to like make a pupusa, I'd be like, I'm just gonna do this for an hour.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome. And then they throw it on the plate and they grill it up, and it's a little magical pillow of love. It's a slaw that goes with it, which actually I should get some.
Yeah, here you go. It's not like mayo based though.
What, the slaw?
Yeah, this is
no,
clearly
it's vinegar
not.
based.
Okay.
A lot of vinegar. It's so good. There's very few places here in Austin that have good pupusas. You got the bean and cheese?
It's good.
I didn't grow up on bean and cheese, so
No.
I will try it, because actually I don't know if I've ever had a bean and cheese one. Well, here's the thing. Up until probably 10 years ago, I never ate beans. I totally avoided it.
Why?
My upbringing is like super white. I'll just own that. But yeah, no, I just never liked it. I never liked the texture, the flavor, none of that. So I just always avoided it like really, really hard. And then I had a great-grandmother who lived to be... Oh, this is going to be on the internet. My family's going to find it, and I'm going to misquote the age she died at, and they're going to be super pissed at me. But I want to say she lived... Yes, sorry, Ungos. But she lived to be 105, I believe.
What?
Yeah, it was wild.
Dang.
So she was my great-grandmother. We called her...
This.
Oh, yeah. She was my great-grandmother. We called her Ota Mami. Because growing up, she was very maternal to a certain generation of my family. And so she was like another mother, Otra Mami, but they couldn't pronounce the Otra, so it's Ota Mami. But then that was her name, and it stuck, and so everybody called her Ota.
Oh my gosh.
That's a lot of backstory.
I have that same thing, but I
really?
want to continue on this.
Okay. And so she was like so incredibly healthy up until like the day she passed. Like it's remarkable. Like if there's anybody's genes in the family that I want, it's hers. But towards the end, there was definitely a little bit of like dementia that was starting to happen. And so in those early years, she would kind of go in and out of lucidity. And one day we were having a birthday party for her, and the whole family was around. We were in the backyard, and I was just kind of standing near her, and she couldn't see very well either. She had cataracts in both eyes. And she like grabbed my hand. She tugged at me, and I like leaned in, and she didn't speak English. And she said, do you want to know what the secret to life is? Do you want to know how I have, lived to such a healthy age? Because by the end, like she wasn't even on medications. All she was doing was taking a baby aspirin a day. That's the only medication she ever took.
She was just like got a little tired a little earlier.
Exactly. That was it. And so she tugged my hand and she was like, do you want to know what the secret to life is? And I was like looking around because I was like, I can't like have this moment by myself. And I like called my brother over and I was like, Abuelita's about to drop some knowledge. And she comes over and she just goes, frijoles. And I was like, what now? She's like, I eat beans every day.
Cheers to Ota.
Cheers to Ota. No, that's her.
She's like, get in, bitches.
Let's go get some beans.
We also have yucca here.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We didn't say it. There's yucca and chicharrones. Well, at least what Salvadorians call chicharrones. And these are just fried little pieces of pork.
Yep.
A little bit of love. I'm gonna shit my brains later. Salvadorian food does this to me every single time.
Really?
Every time.
I like a good cleanse though.
Yeah. Sometimes we all have to start over.
You said that before, that you would go every summer, and so you speak Spanish fluently.
I do.
Javi's not trash like me, where I can only get by on like a 4th grade level.
It's hard. It's not like... It's hard to describe. So I have like a weird way of how like I started speaking Spanish was because growing up, my parents are essentially both immigrants. My dad lived here a little bit as a kid, so I think he had citizenship. But my mom's definitely an immigrant. And her primary language for sure is Spanish. So she moved here to the States not knowing the language. And so growing up, I'm the only one, it's just me and my brother, but I'm the only one in my family that was born here in the States. And so I grew up essentially American, like, and so speaking English, going to English-speaking schools. So it was always a weird relationship where my mom would speak to me in Spanish and I would respond in English. So I understood the language very well, but I couldn't speak it.
Wow.
I would go visit my grandparents in the summers in El Salvador, and I had like a super hard time communicating with them. But
that's crazy.
In high school, my dad got this project with the company that he was working with, and we moved to Santiago, Chile. And so I went to high school down in Chile, and I went to an international school that was primarily English speaking, but to just get around in the world, you had to speak Spanish. It was a Spanish speaking country. And it was the weirdest thing, like one day, like it literally felt like overnight I was suddenly fluent.
So I hadn't been to Mexico in a really long time until last summer when Ryan and I went to Mexico City for like a week. And while we were there, I'm burping. While we were there, I was forced to talk to, everyone because not a ton of people speak English or, will do me the favor. It's like I should be visiting and trying to get by on my, I'm like, getting, I'm like obviously so sensitive about my inability to communicate.
I'm with you. I'm following.
But anyway, I did see that my Spanish was better because I was forced into the conversations. Ryan couldn't communicate, but by like day 4 or something, he had downloaded an app to learn Spanish, which I thought was so cute.
Oh, that's sweet.
It was sweet.
I just realized I was eating with my hands while you were telling that story. Because it's my birthday.
I've been eating with my hands.
Let's count how many times I reference it's my birthday. Because I'm 34 today. Look at me owning my age like an independent woman.
I don't know why when you... Beyonce's 34, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think I remember being
I'm
Beyonce's
like, why
age.
does that number feel warm on my heart?
We were neighbors. Have I ever told you this? Shoot.
Oh my gosh, you are
I can't believe I've never told you this.
Oh my god, Javi, how long have we been friends?
I am 90% sure that I was neighbors with Beyonce at one point. So
oh my gosh.
We would be talking Destiny's Child era, Survivor era.
The peak.
Yeah. And so when I moved back from Chile, I moved into a suburb of Houston, which is where I'm originally from. And there was kind of like the middle class part of the neighborhood, upper middle class, I'll say, where I lived. But then there was a gated part of the community as well. And you could see over the water, over this lake, that it was like mansions. And like we knew for sure, like Warren Moon had a mansion there. That's a sports person. I'm not super.
I'm over here like
yes, impressed. There is an infamous episode of MTV Cribs with Destiny's Child with Beyonce, and a very young Solange makes a cameo in that episode. I remember that. They have a room that's full of pillows. It's wonderful.
Yes.
Right? You remember that, right? But anyways, they showed a shot of the house from the outside, and I was like, wait a minute, I know that house. No, it can't be. And then like I would see these promotional vans coming in and out of the neighborhood that were just like wrapped in...
This is where we live.
It was just like wrapped in Destiny's Child pictures. And then I had a friend that ran into Beyonce at the Target that was down the street.
Yeah,
so I was
Beyonce
like,
goes to
confirmed.
Yes.
Honestly, like this past year has been like my year of like... I am gonna like party some more.
Your return.
Yeah, and I've like recently become friends with like just a group of gay dudes, which I've never really had like gay male friends, and like I've recently kind of like befriended this group, and they go out a lot. Like, and that's just in the history of queer culture, like a lot of the socializing just happens around gay bars, and so I've been going out a lot more often. So I think that's part of it. Is like I'm just living this, and sure, there's a part of me that also thinks it's a cry for help. Not so much a cry for help. It's more of like I think I'm just trying to prove to myself that I still got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you still
and she
got
does.
it.
She still got it.
She still got it.
I was talking about that with my therapist, where I was like, I don't really feel guilty about like this phase that I'm in right now, where just like
yes.
I am partying a lot. It seems like a strong word,
but
like I don't know. Like I'm not being dangerous. I'm not doing anything crazy.
Yeah.
And
I know when I need to get an Uber.
Yeah, I'm taking a
not
Lyft
Uber,
downtown.
a Lyft or a ride.
Yeah, it's it's fun. it's fun to like, I think it's that, like giving yourself permission of like, you gotta live your life. You gotta do this.
I think too, do you have, do you feel that way almost because you're like secure in where you are? Or in comparison, I think this is the way I might feel, or a mixture of both. I'm like, I am 27 and 5 years ago, 10 years ago, I definitely thought by this age I'd probably have kids. Yeah. And I'm just really proud of myself that I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah.
At 27.
Yeah.
And I want to go out and I feel young still. I am young still. My body can handle it. And, I know my limits. I definitely know my limits compared to, girls.
We're smarter now.
Yes,
we know how
exactly.
To do this in
we
a
know how
way.
to do it in a smart way, in a fun way, in a way where we're not going to feel like shit the next day.
Right. As a social worker, as a therapist, like you are, the idea, I feel like in the last like year, like the concept of self-care has really become this thing in the culture. But that's like a thing that I've been hearing about for like 10 years. Because like as soon as you become a therapist, like everyone's like self-care. What are you doing for self-care? What are you doing for self-care? And I've just sort of landed that like, like sometimes cutting loose on a weekend and just dancing and getting like lost in music while a little drunk is like, that's self-care. That's allowing yourself to kind of like release this, all of this like heaviness that you've been holding all week. And it's also honestly probably like still the main reason I do comedy or that I do improv is to kind of get away from all of that or use it in a way. I guess.
I'm like to party.
To party for sure. I don't feel like I deal with this as much as I did like maybe like a year or two ago about like the idea of like I'm X age and I should have accomplished X, Y, and Z by now. Or I should be in this certain place. I mean, I definitely still have moments where I'm like, I don't feel like a full adult. And there's,
what does that mean? Anymore?
But exactly. I mean, that's the thing is it's like, well, like, I mean, I think that's the thing that's been like sort of crystallized for me in the last like year or two is it's like, none of us knows. We're all kind of making this shit up as we go.
Those are some deep cuts.
Yeah. Oh, we're halfway through this rosé bottle?
I could use some more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, because I was telling you that I've recently identified a pet peeve. Maybe this is like a public service announcement that we can give to all white people. If Spanish is not your native language, and you like drop Spanish words into your daily conversation to be cute, don't. No, please don't do that. I just like a lot of like,
that's
all
so
right,
true.
chicas, let's start drinking.
My
No. Sort of like over enunciate Spanish words, where I'm just like, please, you're gonna take a left on Guadalupe, and I'm like, no. This rosé is fantastic.
No, we were talking about this. We were brunching, and we were talking about how when people are just not even overly supportive, but they're like Latino this, Latino that, this, and almost it makes you question if it's theirs now. So,
it almost feels like they're like there's a fetishizing of the culture. Do you know what I mean? Where it's just like, and they're making it like part of their identity. Like there's like a big difference between like respecting something while still recognizing like your role in this.
Yeah, because culture I think is an art. Let's look at it that way. Yeah. How would you look at a piece of art? You'd know it belongs to that artist. In comparison, an entire people's culture is something that it cannot be yours because it wasn't created by you. Right. And it wasn't to celebrate you, it was to celebrate us. Right. And our, sons and daughters and brothers and sisters. So, I don't know. Yeah,
there's a right way to be like a fan of something. Yeah. Without like claiming it.
And I'm not even saying I don't even think we're saying that we know.
So the guy who's wearing an Erykah Badu shirt right now.
She's dope though. If I saw someone wearing a Mana shirt, I'd appreciate that because Mana's a good band.
Actually, I would appreciate that too.
Or cool. Celia Cruz or Gloria Estefan. I don't know about Selena.
You gotta earn that fanship.
Okay, Kylie Jenner.
But it's like you can do that, but like don't like wear a sombrero non-ironically. Like nobody wants that.
Don't wear.
Or like I don't have because I'm not.
It's mocking. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be and why?
Ooh. Oh wait, no, I have an answer for this. This is super specific, but I'm a huge fan of Questlove from The Roots, and he seems like he lives a really great life. Like he is making music, and then he like performs on the Tonight Show, and then he DJs every night, and like I totally wish I would have been a DJ, and so like his life seems pretty awesome, and I just love him. He has his own podcast.
Yes.
He's the best. I love him.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I've met him. He's very nice.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Would you say he's one of your idols?
I don't know if I would say he's one of my idols.
What do you feel? How do you feel about the word idol?
Do I have idols? I had idols growing up, and I guess I would say that I still do. So growing up, I like idolized Bruce Lee. I was
That's cool.
Clearly resisting my homosexuality by throwing myself at action movie stars. But I really loved him, and I really like loved his philosophy about like life and stuff. And so like he's somebody that like I guess I would say that I idolize. But like other idols. But I don't know. Do you have idols?
And I would say I have people who I really look up to or like looked up to depending on whatever my goals have been throughout my life. Mm-hmm. But not even very many. I love Beyoncé, not even because she's an amazing performer. She's like just an amazing entertainer and singer. And she's just a bad bitch. But she is so classically beautiful, and her fashion is amazing. She looks amazing in everything. Yeah. She is a reason why I've never really wanted to be skinny, which is, in my mind, a power to have.
Hell
is like to not, I mean, I don't want to be skinny. I just want to be a woman.
I had like a real turning point because like I spent way too many years focused on like trying to get skinny. Yeah. I had like for my birthday when I was 11 or 12, I asked for this like ab device that like they sold on like infomercials. Like how fucking gross is that? I was like 11. I was I just like wanted to be, because I grew up like kind of a chubby kid, and I was like so obsessed with that, and like that carried through a lot of my life. And I didn't want to be fat, and I was chubby. Yeah. But I didn't want to be skinny. I just wanted to be like, like a normal looking kid. Yeah. And I also, again, normal for me is still chubby, I guess, because I grew up in a 90% Latino population. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, I saw it a lot in the TV I was watching, in the movies I was watching, and I was like, I don't look anything like these skinny white girls. Yeah. But at some point, kind of early on in my youth, I realized I'm never gonna look like them. Right. Unless I like spend I realized that in my late 20s. But good for you. Thanks. Happy for your journey. Honestly, that's the one thing about being a woman that like, at least I'm not aspiring to be skinny. Yeah. Also, I'm also just at an age too now where I'm like, I am fully ready to accept my body. I don't love my body every day, and it's hard to love your body every day, I think, for men and women. Yeah. But I do think of myself as a healthy person, and because of that, I feel beautiful. Yeah, yeah. I lost 30-ish pounds this past year, which is insane, because like I said, like I spent a lot of my life trying to get skinny, and then it was finally that the other day. It was finally when I was able to just be like, stop it, like you're never and it's weird because there's like layers to it as a gay person, because it's like I want to be the thing that I'm attracted to, and I tend to be attracted to like really skinny dudes, and I was like, you can't do that, like you should work out to like what your body wants to do. And like as soon as I made that decision, like weight started to like come off of me. But it's really interesting. I feel very conflicted about it because like I have lost weight and I feel more confident in myself.
Yeah.
And I'm grossed out that I feel more confident in myself because I strongly believe in like being like a body positive person. That like
I was gonna say I don't follow a lot of people simply because they're just gorgeous to me. But Ashley Graham is so beautiful.
I don't know who that is.
She's a body positive activist.
Oh, cool.
And a model, a supermodel. So gorgeous.
But I love that you also got that inspiration from Beyoncé.
I did.
'Cause that's awesome.
I did because it did. You know, for the majority of my life now, I have not necessarily wanted to be skinny.
Yeah.
Because of people like Beyoncé and because of people like who else? Oh, Rihanna even. I think she's a wonderful
for sure.
example of this, especially lately, and I'm really excited for all the young girls who are, you know, are still impressionable and following Rihanna. I think she's an amazing role model. Yeah. And I'm loving thick Rihanna.
Yes.
Loving thick Rihanna.
Oh, do you know who I love as like thick now? And I shouldn't be commenting on women's bodies, but I will say that I am 100% here for like Kelly Clarkson's current like thicker phase. I'm like into it. I was like, yes, bitch, I love it.
Adele's gorgeous. I'm like, these are women I look up to because of their talent and superficially because they are just beautiful and fabulous.
Well, like one of my idols, RuPaul, says, if you can't love yourself, how are you going to love anybody else?
Yeah, you can't even define beauty anymore.
RuPaul has this amazing quote about like, we're all born naked. Everything else is drag. Like we're just like putting on. Everything is performative. Like we're just putting it on to go out into the world, to be our work selves, our improv selves, our you know dating selves, whatever it might be. It's all drag. We're all just making it up as we go.
Thank you so much, Javi, for joining me, especially on a day that you took for self-care, self-celebration.
Honestly, look, I've had pupusas, rosé. I'm with a dear friend of mine. I get to talk about myself. I can't imagine a better birthday.
Oh, I love that. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you. And cheers to all of you. Thank you for watching another episode of Let's Dish with Lilli. Let us know if you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe. You can also follow Let's Dish with Lilli on Instagram now. And once in a while, you might get a picture of my cute new pup, Miles. Aren't you so excited to play with him right now? Anyway, he's in the other room. So, gotta go. Thanks again, everybody.